take steroids. But if by uh, pathological condition, when the one enzyme 21 beta hydroxylase is altered, at that time the sex steroids, adrenal sex steroids are more, and the females suffer from hirsutism. That means beard, mustache, etc. comes. So please remember, this is the catch question. Deficiency of 21 beta hydroxylase, deficiency of 21 beta hydroxylase causes accumulation of 17 hydroxypregnenolone and 17 hydroxyprogesterone. Both are sex steroid hormones. Too much accumulation of it causes adrenogenital syndrome. Adrenogenital syndrome. There are some problems in the genitalia also, and mainly the clitoris becomes very big in this syndrome. And there is receding hairlines, that means like temporal baldness like males, hirsutism, that means that mustache and beard comes, muscular body, small breast, enlarged clitoris, I have already told, and pigmentation is there, and aldosterone deficiency is there. Aldosterone deficiency is there. Naturally, when the aldosterone is less, sodium is less in the body, and when sodium ion is less, then the blood volume becomes less. So there is hypovolemia and low blood pressure. At the same time, as the cortex, the zona reticularis is the part of adrenal cortex. So naturally, adrenal cortex, other portions of the adrenal cortex also get affected. So when adrenal cortex is not working properly, at that time the adrenal medulla also cannot work properly. So the medullary hormones, there is medullary medullary cells are necrosed, and medullary hormones, that is catecholamines, that means epinephrine, norepinephrine, dopamine, they are also less in this type of syndrome. So as it is like that, so the remedy is the injection of glucocorticoid or administration of glucocorticoid, so that ACTH is less and steroids and androgens are less. Anyway, this is a very frequently asked question in your Kathmandu University is, what is the cause of adrenogenital syndrome? The answer will be deficiency of 21 beta hydroxylase, that causes the accumulation of 17 hydroxypregnenolone and 70 hydroxyprogesterone. What are the features? The features I have already told. And what is the remedy? Glucocorticoid therapy is the remedy. This is very frequently asked question in your university. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So just to show what happens, the extreme cases, the beard and mustache is there. It is female body. Here beard and external genitalia have too much hairs, and clitoris is big, very big clitoris. Now let us come to the portion which is just below the capsule, that is the zona glomerulosa. Zona glomerulosa is secreting the mineralocorticoid, that is mainly is the aldosterone. And you know that aldosterone causes sodium absorption from kidney, that is through the principal cells of the kidney. Principal cells means this is in the collecting duct, these principal cells. In sweat gland also, the aldosterone acts, and the sweating, through sweating, the sodium loss becomes less, and sweat gland absorbs sodium ion if the aldosterone is there. Salivary gland, from there also aldosterone helps in absorbing of sodium, and in colon also. And this sodium is absorbed mainly by the production or upregulation, you can tell, of the sodium NAC channel, that means epithelial sodium channel. And epithelial sodium channel activity is more in case of aldosterone, presence of aldosterone, and the number also increases in the influence of aldosterone. What happens? Aldosterone has its own receptor. So aldosterone receptor complex is formed, and now as steroid acts, aldosterone produces the goes to the nucleus of the cells. Then in nucleus, the DNA is activated, mRNA is produced, from mRNA protein is produced, and that protein, different types of proteins are produced. One type of protein is enzyme, another type of protein is channel protein. In channel protein, ENAC is formed. So there is upregulation of epithelial sodium channel. E for epithelium, Na for sodium, C for channel, incorporation in the membrane, and its production also increases, number one. Number two, epithelial sodium channel activity also increases by increase in serum and glucocorticoid regulated kinase. So it is regulated kinase enzyme. It is enzyme, this is the channel protein, right? And who increases the production of ENAC and its incorporation? Aldosterone. Who increases the kinase enzyme? Aldosterone, right? So the ENAC activity also increases, number also increases in presence of aldosterone, where in the P cell, in the sweat gland cell, in the salivary gland, colon, everywhere. So sodium is absorbed. Now, aldosterone increases the membrane sodium potassium exchanger also, and that is why the sodium absorption is more. So aldosterone not only increases the number and activity of ENAC, that means epithelial sodium channel, it also increases the sodium potassium exchanger. So in both the ways, the aldosterone increases the sodium ion absorption, right? Am I clear to you all?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me also? Besides Deepika, others are also there, I think, in the class.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
May I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Excess mineralocorticoid causes hydrogen and potassium loss because there is exchanger. because one sodium absorbed, one hydrogen secreted. One sodium absorbed, one potassium secreted. So that is loss. Exchange of sodium. So sodium water is retained. So there is hypertension. When there is hypertension, if there is excessive aldosterone, then the blood volume is increased. Sodium is increased. Water retention is more. So blood volume is more. So blood pressure is more. So excess blood goes to the cardiac output is more. So excess cardiac output goes to the atrium of the heart. So atrium becomes stretched and heart atrium has some cells which produces atrial natriuretic peptide. Atrial natriuretic peptide, or it is a hormone, and this hormone causes natriuresis. Natrium mane sodium, uresis mane in urea, in urine. So in urine, sodium loss is more due to the atrial natriuretic peptide. So the although aldosterone increases sodium in the initial phase, ultimately sodium is not conserved in the body, and although aldosterone is more, sodium is not retained but lost, and that is called aldosterone escape. That is called aldosterone escape. Up to this clear?
Yes, sir.
Should I repeat?
It's a little regarding.
Aldosterone escape means aldosterone, normally if the aldosterone is more, sodium retention more, water retention more. But if the aldosterone is too much for a long time, then sodium retention is more, water retention more, so blood volume is more, so cardiac output is more, so the excess blood volume of blood enters into the heart. The atrium of the heart is stressed. The stressed atrium produces atrial natriuretic peptide. Natriuresis means sodium excretion through urine is more. So due to natriuretic peptide, the sodium and excess water is lost through the urine, although aldosterone is more. Then that is called aldosterone escape. So in that case, aldosterone, instead of conserving sodium, loses sodium from the body. That is called aldosterone escape. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
May I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Should I repeat?
No, sir.
Somebody is talking. So should I repeat or should I proceed?
Proceed, Gardamata.
Now aldosterone receptor. This is very funny thing. Mineralocorticoid, that means aldosterone receptor, has greater affinity to glucocorticoid. But when the glucocorticoid is more, at that time mineralocorticoid excess symptoms is not seen. Why it is so? Because kidney contains 11 beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase 2. That convert cortisol to 11 oxycortisol and cortisone to 11 oxycortisone, 11 corticosterone to 11 oxycorticosterone. Am I clear? Suppose there is Cushing syndrome. At that time, what is there? Cortisol is more. So cortisol more, the receptor for mineralocorticoid has greater affinity to cortisol. So there should be more sodium retention and all, but it does not happen. Why? Because the cortisol is converted to 11 oxycortisol, right? And that 11 oxycortisol cannot be attached by the mineralocorticoid receptor. Am I clear?
Sir, एक फेरि भनिदिनु न.
Aldosterone receptor has greater affinity to cortisol, meaning glucocorticoid, right? But when the glucocorticoid is more, the mineralocorticoid activity should be more, but it does not happen. Am I clear? Should I repeat it again? The receptor is same. Right? That receptor catches aldosterone also, that receptor catches cortisol also. And cortisol is more, affinity to cortisol is more. Am I clear? So
Yes.
if the aldosterone is more, then excess aldosterone symptoms will be there, that is true. If the cortisol is more, then also the aldosterone, excess aldosterone like activity should be there, but it does not happen because the cortisol is converted to its 11 oxy derivative by the enzyme 11 beta hydroxy steroid dehydrogenase 2. 11 beta hydroxy steroid dehydrogenase 2, which is in the. That is why when the cortisol is more, then also the more cortisol, the symptoms that is seen, but the more cortisol, so excess mineralocorticoid scenario symptoms is not exhibited because cortisol does not remain cortisol in cortisol form. It is converted into its 11 oxy derivative form. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
There are sometimes congenital absence of this enzyme. The enzyme name is, remember, 11 beta hydroxy steroid dehydrogenase type 2. And that if the absence is there, then the apparent mineralocorticoid excess with low aldosterone and renin is seen because the mineralocorticoid receptors are attaching the aldosterone also. Mineralocorticoid receptors are getting attached to glucocorticoid also. That is why the mineralocorticoid activity is more. And that is in low aldosterone also apparent mineralocorticoid excess. That is why this is apparent glucocorticoid excess is exhibited. Am I clear now?
Yes, sir.
Now, if there is prolonged ingestion of licorice means jethi mathu here in Nepali, that cause hypertension, increase in BP, because this licorice or josti madhu, in Sanskrit it is called josti madhu, in Nepali jethi madhu, which is a Ayurvedic medicine also. It contains the glycerhetinic acid, which inhibits this enzyme 11 hydroxy beta hydroxy steroid dehydrogenase type 2. So naturally, if this enzyme is inhibited, then what will happen? the glucocorticoid and the mineralocorticoid both will act on the mineralocorticoid receptor. So mineralocorticoid activity will be more. So there will be more sodium retention, more water retention, more blood volume, more cardiac output, and more BP. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So what I am telling, we are now up till now, what we are trying to read, that kidney has an enzyme, that is 11 beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase type 2. If by glycolize this enzyme is inhibited, then the aldosterone like activity, excess aldosterone type activity will be seen. If the 11 beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase type 2 is congenitally absent, then also the uh, apparent mineralocorticoid excess activities will be seen. And normally it is not seen, the mineralocorticoid activity is not seen because this enzyme makes glucocorticoid into 11 oxy form, and that is that you will see 11 oxy derivative form, oxy form. That is why the only the mineralocorticoid can act on it, glucocorticoid cannot act. Am I clear?
Yes,
This is,
sir.
this is the gist of the story. Now, if there is adrenal ectomy, ectomy means kata, ablation, right? Then there is sodium loss through kidney and sodium entry in the cells leading to hyponatremia. Hypo মানে কম, natrium মানে sodium, emia মানে blood. Clear? Potassium retention, hyperkalemia. Naturally, when the sodium is lost, potassium is retained. So there is hyperkalemia, hyponatremia. So when hyponatremia is there, that means sodium is less. So water conservation, water retention is less. So there is less blood volume. So less cardiac output, less blood pressure. So inadequate perfusion to the body and mainly to brain. So there will be some ringota, and in extreme case there will be shock, hypovolemic shock. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
চাইলে না যে মাধব স্যার পড়ার মঞ্চ गर्दी नहीं. अच्छा, त्यसपछि तिमीहरूको यहाँ थाहा छैन कोलेस्टेरोलबाट प्रेग्नेनोलोन हुन्छ, प्रेग्नेनोलोन टु प्रोजेस्टेरोन, प्रोजेस्टेरोनदेखि डिअक्सिकर्टिकोस्टेरोन, देन कर्टिकोस्टेरोन, त्यसपछि एल्डोस्टेरोन सिन्थेस makes corticosterone to aldosterone. That you know, I think, isn't it? How aldosterone is formed. Aldosterone is a steroid hormone, so it must be having the CPP ring. Can you remember CPP? Cyclopentanobarhydrophenanthrene ring, right? So it comes from cholesterol. So cholesterol to main pregnenolone. Kaha? Where it is formed? In mitochondria. Then pregnenolone to progesterone. Where does it form? In say endoplasmic smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and that from here the cortex cortisol can also be formed. Now from here corticosterone is formed. Then corticosterone From here, deoxycorticosterone, then again aldosterone synthase, and the ANG2 and aldosterone synthase. That means everywhere there is aldosterone synthase, and ultimately aldosterone is formed. The main enzyme is aldosterone synthase. Where it is formed? Smooth endoplasmic reticulum, right? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
May I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Now, when aldosterone is more, surgery, anxiety, trauma, potassium intake, decreased sodium intake, standing, because long standing causes decreased removal of aldosterone by liver, increased renin will be there. Heart failure, cirrhosis, nephrosis, angiotensin 2, high dose of ACTH. In all those cases, aldosterone increase. So any stress, surgical stress, mental stress, anxiety, trauma, it is also stress, potassium intake, less sodium intake, heart failure stress, cirrhosis, nephrosis, all increases the aldosterone. Angiotensin 2, already know. Hmm? Then glucocorticoid remediable aldosteronism. That is also very frequently asked questions. I do not know why they do ask, but they ask. That means the aldosteronism, excess aldosterone can be treated by glucocorticoid. Excess aldosterone को remedy is glucocorticoid. Clear boy? That is why it is called remediable, right? That is GRA. Autosomal dominant disorder, victim has ACTH sensitive aldosterone synthase. Aldosterone synthase is more than ACTH. So ACTH is more, so aldosterone is more, blood pressure is more. So if you give glucocorticoid, then excess cortisol will depress ACTH, so aldosterone will be less. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So who is the main culprit here? Aldosterone synthase enzyme, which is ACTH sensitive. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me, all of you? I think
Yes,
there
sir.
I think there are 150 students. I do not know how many are in front of the computer listening. I do not know. If there is any problem in understanding, if you cannot remember, that is a different story. But if you have problem in understanding, please tell me then and there. Don't hesitate. I cannot see your face. I cannot see your eyes. Right? I can only listen to your voice. So if there is any problem in understanding, please unhesitatingly tell then and there, right? May I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Now, hemorrhage, standing, constriction of thoracic inferior vena cava, intrarenal arterial pressure decrease, angiotensin 2 increase, upregulation of angiotensin receptor, adrenal cortex, downregulation of angiotensin blood vessels, potassium These are the when aldosterone is more, when aldosterone is less, like that. So in this is very important. In when there is prolonged standing, at that time renin is more. So naturally angiotensin 2 is more. So aldosterone is more. And in prolonged standing, the aldosterone removal by the liver is more. Less. That is why aldosterone remains more. So anyway, standing increases the aldosterone. One way is angiotensin 2 pathway, renin angiotensin system. Another way is less removal of aldosterone. When aldosterone is more in circadian rhythm anusar, highest in early morning before awakening. That means early morning the aldosterone is more and the cortisol is also more. Please remember, in early morning aldosterone is more, so sodium retention more, so blood volume more, so blood cardiac output more, so blood pressure is already more, right? Cortisol increases blood pressure, so cortisol is more also in circadian rhythm. That is why it is not wise to get up from the bed and go for a morning walk. Am I clear? Because everything is more, blood pressure is already high, and up on the top of it, if somebody who is hypertensive is stressing, the blood pressure will further more, and there may be stroke, right? Then primary hyperaldosteronism, that is also very frequently asked question, that is called Conn's syndrome. Primary hyperaldosteronism. Why primary? Because if there is problem in the adenoma or excess proliferation of zona glomerulosa or glucocorticoid remediable aldosteronism, where the aldosterone synthase, that is ACTH dependent aldosterone synthase is more, at that time there is problem is either in the zona glomerulosa, adenoma or carcinoma. If there is problem in the zona glomerulosa, then aldosterone is more, and that is called primary hyperaldosteronism. That is also called Conn's syndrome, right? Secondary hyperaldosteronism means the problem is not in the zona glomerulosa. Outside the zona glomerulosa, maybe cirrhosis, heart failure, nephrosis, where there is increased renin. So, and renin angiotensin system is on, angiotensin 2 is formed, and that angiotensin 2 increases the aldosterone secretion. In that case, it will be secondary hyperaldosteronism. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Should I repeat?
No, sir.
Now let us come to medulla. Adrenal medulla. Adrenal medulla is relatively very soft. Very soft. Because it is made up of the neural tissues. Although the nerve cells, the neurons, do not have any pole, they do not have action, they do not have dendron or dendrite. So they are called apolar cells. They are actually the sympathetic postganglionic nerve. And this medulla, weight-wise, it is 20% of the gland, and these cells are called chromaffin cells because they are stained by chromic acid. That is why they are called chromaffin cells. These cells produces catecholamines. Catecholamines are epinephrine, norepinephrine, and dopamine. If there is excess catecholamine, these catecholamines are after metabolism are converted into vinylyl mandelic acid or VMA, which can be measured from urine. So if there is some symptoms, we see that they may when we suspect that the medulla is overacting, the medullary cells are secreting more catecholamines, then blood pressure is too high because epinephrine or epinephrine is very high and blood pressure is too high. After that, after few days, normal blood pressure. Again, after few days, again high blood pressure without any valid reason. At that time, we think that there is some problem in the medulla. At that time, for the acid test, we send the urine of the patient for VMA estimation. EMA estimation, because if the epinephrine, norepinephrine, these catecholamines are more, they are metabolized into vinylyl mandelic acid. Right? And always remember this medulla, adrenal medulla, catecholamines are not continuously is again like that. And that is called pheochromocytoma. That the रोग को नाम क्या हो? Pheochromocytoma, right? We'll come later. Now, how amines are formed? You know the steps, 3 steps. Remember, पहिला hydroxylation, त्यसपछि decarboxylation. Can you remember? Can you follow me? There are some so they cannot follow. So I'm repeating again. There are 3 steps. One is hydroxylation, another is decarboxylation, again hydroxylation, right? Hydroxylation, decarboxylation, again hydroxylation. And it starts from phenylalanine. So phenylalanine, then there is hydroxylation by hydroxylase, and dihydrophenylalanine is formed. Before dihydrophenylalanine, tyrosine is formed. If you forget, no problem. Through hydroxylase enzyme, it is converted into dihydrophenylalanine. Then decarboxylation. Decarboxylase enzyme is there, then dopamine is formed. After dopamine is formed, then again hydroxylation, beta hydroxylase in the enzyme, norepinephrine is formed. Norepinephrine, right? Norepinephrine is converted into epinephrine by PNMT enzyme. E for phenylethanolamine in methyl transferase. PNMT, phenylethanolamine in methyl transferase, can act only in presence of cortisol. That is why the medulla is dependent on cortex, because from cortex cortisol is coming through blood, then only the phenylethylamine and methyl transferase is working, and then only norepinephrine can be converted into epinephrine, which is the main hormone in us, in human. Am I clear? Then catecholamine, how it is formed? First, phenylalanine is hydroxylation, then decarboxylation, then again hydroxylation, then the norepinephrine is formed. And norepinephrine to epinephrine formation, for that phenylethylamine N-methyl transferase, that remember, you please remember this name of that enzyme, and which is cortisol dependent, right? Then when the sympathetic stimulation is there, acetylcholine comes out, so calcium ion enter into the cell from the ECF, cytosis process starts, and the epinephrine, norepinephrine, which is in the vesicle, they comes out. And catecholamines, the epinephrine, norepinephrine, dopamine, chromatogranin, and proteins, they all come out together, and the catecholamines are used. Up to this clear?
Yes, sir.
May I proceed? May I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Then why I am telling that? Because adrenal medulla is dependent on cortex, because the PNMT enzyme without cortisol cannot act, number one. And if we in experimental animal we do hypobisectomy, then ACTH is less, the cortisol is less, epinephrine is less. Epinephrine comes from where? From medulla. For epinephrine, which is the precursor? Norepinephrine. For norepinephrine to epinephrine, which enzyme is essential? PNMT. Without cortisol, PNMT is inactive, so epinephrine is less, right? Another thing is that, as I already told, when there is beta hydroxylase 21 beta hydroxylase deficiency in adrenogenital syndrome, at that time it denotes the cortical activity is less, so adrenal medulla become dysplastic. So catecholamines are also less. I have already told when I talked about adrenogenital syndrome. Can you remember? I forgot. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
And dopamine comes out from the sympathetic noradrenergic ganglia. That is, so these are three hormones. Now you see the norepinephrine in exercise, you see heavy exercise, norepinephrine is too much. Epinephrine is not so much, right? And in hypoglycemia, which is shock, hypoglycemic shock hero, यहाँ norepinephrine less, है ना? कति 800 pg per ml, है ना? Per picogram. यता हेर त 100,000, right? So different types of conditions where surgery. Here epinephrine, norepinephrine is more, and epinephrine is also more, not so much. So this is the way the epinephrine and norepinephrine is secreted in different types of stress. Now regulation, as I already told when we read about stress, that norepinephrine secretion increase in emotional stress with which the individual is familiar, that is examination stress, like that, norepinephrine. When there is an accident where we are not familiar, the epinephrine is more. That we have already discussed. I think you can remember when we talked about stress. Stress to पढिसक्यो हैन, cortisol, stress पढिसक्यो. अच्छा, now epinephrine decreases in sleep and epinephrine increases in all stress. Exercise reduces stress, it increases anxiety, stress, fear, physical and mental stress, pain, physical, mental stress, trauma, mental stress, physical stress, hypovolemia, physical stress, hypoglycemia, physical stress, myocardial infraction, that is also physical stress. Everywhere there is sympathetic stimulation and epinephrine is increased. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
एपिनेफ्रिन कुन कुन एनिमलमा धेरै, कुत्तामा धेरै र मान्छेमा धेरै है। पुरानो हिन्दी सिनेमाको डायलग थियो नि, कुत्ते मैं तेरा खून पी जाऊंगा ना, क्या थियो ल। त्यसले epinephrine is more in us, right? And norepinephrine is more in cat. Now, let me finish this at least norepinephrine. After that, dopamine will in the next class. Function is epinephrine, norepinephrine function motamoti same. Alertness increases alertness, and if there is too much alertness, then anxiety and fear may appear. EMR is more, blood sugar is more, the lactate more, lipase is more. Catecholamines acts on beta receptor on heart, beta 1 receptor, right? So if there is positive inotropic mane force of contraction is more. Chronotropic mane the blood heart rate is more. Bathmotropic means excitability is more. Extracerebral is there, arrhythmia is there, right? If there is too much catecholamine. The same catecholamine, the same receptor, if acts on juxtaglomerular cell, there is retention of water. So retention of water means what? Blood volume is more, blood pressure more, and here heart activity is more by catecholamines, right? Norepinephrine produces vasoconstriction in all organs via the alpha 1 receptor, that is important, alpha 1, and epinephrine dilate the skeletal muscle and liver blood vessel by beta 2 receptor, and ultimately epinephrine is more, beta 2 receptor activity is more, so blood vessel dilation occurs. And if the dilation of the skeletal muscle blood vessel is there, peripheral blood vessel is there, that means diastolic blood pressure decreases. So peripheral resistance drops. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Should I repeat?
No, sir.
Now, catecholamine increases the pancreatic hormones, insulin, glucagon secretion by beta adrenergic, and decreases by alpha adrenergic. Wait, that means on which receptor it will act. According to that, the function of the catecholamine will be determined, right? Overall activity of heart, occasionally extrasystole, why I told already. Allogenic action is there, because cutaneous vasoconstriction is there, the muscle activity is more, so heat loss is less, cutaneous vasoconstriction, right? Oxidation of lactate will be there, so there is increased heat production. Glycogenolytic effect in combating the hypoglycemia. So that is why during stressful condition it comes out. And here we see if there is slow infusion of norepinephrine, there is hypertension. So hypertension causes the stimulation of baroreceptor. So bradycardia will be there ultimately. The catecholamines causes release of potassium from liver. So there is hyperkalemia. Now this potassium enters into this muscle. So by beta adrenergic receptor, ultimately there is hypokalemia. So if there is catecholamines, there will be hypokalemia last. Increases heart rate and cardiac output, increases anxiety and fear, increases the acts as a bronchodilator. So all those you see can combat the stress. That is the main function of epinephrine. And when the epinephrine is working at what level with 75 pg, you mean a picogram, right? Picogram. SBP is high, lipolysis. If there is double 150 picogram per ml plasma lactate and TPP is low, if there is 400 pg per ml, insulin secretion decreases. These are the functions of epinephrine and norepinephrine, right? So today up to this, because I think Madhav sir is waiting.